Hi everyone, welcome to another new episode of My Favorite Things, where I talk about things that I love and hopefully you love them too. First things first, special thanks to my patrons. I would like to thank Poppy Fars, Joshua Pique, Tim Tucker, and Sean Laurencio. I would also like to give a special thanks to those of you that support me on other platforms. You are all awesome. If you'd like to be a patron, please visit patreon.com/popgirlproductions or just visit and check out some of my films. Either way, I'll be very grateful for it and I will love you for it. Today, we will be talking about a show that I started watching in 1995 and finally finished a few days ago. All-purpose cultural cat girl, Nuku Nuku.
I'm an all-purpose cat brain and robot.
This show takes me all the way back to the mid-90s. I was like 13 or 14. My friends and I joined an anime club at our school. Anime wasn't the most popular thing back then, but those who liked it really, really liked it. And my friends and I were among the few in our school who were crazy about anime. As I remember it, we were really close. We even hung out and slept over at each other's houses just to watch anime. This was at a time when you had to hunt down bootleg VHS tapes, or you had to shell out $40 for an episode. This was our world. This was also the first time in my life that I had male friends. Up until that point, I only really hung out with girls. Girls seemed to get me better. Boys not so much. But these friends of mine, in the anime club, this predominantly male group, they made me feel welcome and accepted, despite our differences. All-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku began as a short-lived manga and then became a 6-episode OAV series. The story centered around a family comprised of the young boy Ryunosuke, his quarreling parents, and a cat he adopts in the first few seconds of the first episode. Due to an unfortunate event, the newly adopted cat ends up dying, and father ends up saving her by placing the cat's brain into an android he had stolen from mother's company, giving birth to our beloved Nuku Nuku. The show almost feels like Project Echo if Echo was an android with a cat's brain. Check it out. There's Echo. From these 6 episodes, a TV series was spun off that rebooted the series and took place for the most part in a high school. The high school setting allowed the ever so charming Nuku Nuku to be surrounded by familiar high school tropes. The pretty boy, the mean girl, the nerd, the necromancer. You know, we've been there, done that. But it's not a bad thing. There's comfort in the predictability. The first TV series version of Nuku Nuku comes off as pretty solid. It's funny, it's in your face, and it's very sweet. The next version of Nuku Nuku was the TV series Nuku Nuku Dash, which was another reboot of the storyline. In this version, only a few people know about Nuku Nuku's origins, and she also protects the city in a full superhero outfit. The comedy aspect from the previous versions has been replaced here with intrigue and romance. It was nice to see these characters in very different situations while still retaining the soul of what made them who they are. Nuku Nuku Dash is my personal favorite out of the 3. I loved the mystery and the emotion of this version of the story. Watching the show in its entirety, I felt like I was 14 again and hanging with the anime club. I could almost hear my friends' voices critiquing the show or being befuddled at the tonal change of Nuku Nuku Dash. All-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku is the one show that stands out for me during this time. Mainly because I didn't get to finish it with my then middle school friends. Once we all got to high school, things changed very fast. During my transition from middle school to high school, I had a choice to either go to a performing arts school or to join all my friends at a public school. And I chose to join my friends at public school. What I didn't realize was how different things would be in high school. We did not stay as close as I had hoped, and a huge part of me back then hated them for that. This was also why it took me so long to finish Catgirl Nuku Nuku. I couldn't get myself to sit and watch a new episode without my anime club friends, and just looking at the character was like a painful reminder that my friends and I had grown apart. What I realize now is that we were all changing, we were all growing up, we were all doing what we naturally needed to do. People grow close and then they grow apart. It happens. Presently, I still talk to some of them now and then, and they're always welcoming. I doubt they're watching this, but if they are, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being my friend and for showing me acceptance and kindness, if even just for a moment in time. This episode is dedicated to you guys. All in all, this was a very fun, nostalgic trip to a very different time. Watching this series and finishing it this time around, it almost felt like going back in time. But of course, we can't live in the past. It's okay to visit the past, but don't stay there too long. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to visit my Patreon page, right here. Please join me again for another fun episode of My Favorite Things. I can't wait to see you. Goodbye.